Christian Financial. Thank you so much for watching our podcast, Real Estate Insider, Where America Goes for Funding. Give us a call or text my office, 832-431-6331. Today we're talking about our DSCR portfolio blanket loan. We get a ton of demand from real estate investors all over the country, and they usually own a large portfolio, and they want to figure out, instead of doing single loans, some of our clients have several hundred properties. They can't go through the whole process to disclose all those properties, itemize them on a loan application, pull up the mortgage statements, the tax certificates, the leases for all those properties. So a blanket loan is a lot more efficient. It's cheaper, it's faster, it normally has lower interest rates, and you can do it with the DSCR program. So it's a wonderful opportunity if you're a real estate investor that has, at least, ideally five or more properties. Technically, it can be done with two properties. And basically, the way it works is you're blanketing those properties together instead of having single loans. I'll give you an example of how it works. So I have a client that they had a property in Destin, Florida, and they owned 22 units of a condominium. So one of the key things is proximity and continuity. So when you're doing a blanket portfolio loan, one of the things that's important is that the properties are similar in nature and they're within, the geographic area of all the other properties. Okay. So for example, you couldn't do a commercial real estate office with a apartment on top of it and a restaurant, and then six townhomes that are in Orlando, and then a multifamily that's in Texas. That's not something that would work for a portfolio blanket loan. So this property in Destin, for example, he has 22 units and it's worth about 3.2 million, and he owes like 1.1 million, and he wants to pull cash out of 600,000 because he wants to buy another property. Okay. So they're all in the same HOA. He owns all 22 of them. And instead of doing 22 separate loans, okay, because that would be a pain in the ass and be way too expensive with 22 appraisals and just too much work, he could just get a portfolio DSCR blanket loan, okay? And it works just like a regular DSCR loan. The debt service coverage ratio, the interest rates are actually a little bit better. They're about 1% lower. You can get portfolio blanket loans right now as low as 5.5%. So it has a great rate, and you have way cheaper closing costs because it's just one loan. All right. And then you can get, a blanket appraisal done because obviously the appraiser is seeing all the properties. It's all in the same location. Okay. So it's cheaper on the cost, lower interest rate, faster, and you can even get a line of credit on this. Now, the thing that is really cool too is you can close in your LLC, and usually these loans take about 4 to 5 weeks to process. Like I said, the rates are as low as 5.5%. I'm not saying you're going to get 5.5%. I'm saying that's where they start. The closing costs are usually around 2 to 3%. They get rolled into the loan. These are 30-year fully amortized loans. You can do principal and interest, or interest only. They usually have a 5-year prepay with a step down that you can buy out of the prepay if you want to. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. The interest only period can be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So it's a great program. And like I said, you can get a discount on your appraisal cost. Your closing costs can be put into the loan. The one thing that's important, and there's no limit on the amount of properties that can go in a blanket loan. There's no loan limit either. There's a minimum per unit per door, and that's 100,000 per door. Okay, so it can't be properties that are worth less than 100 grand. So that's an important thing to think about. So the other thing is that there are something called release provisions. Okay, so let me explain what how's the hair look, guys? Is it okay? Kind of all over the place today. Release provisions mean that, let's say that you want to sell one of the units in your blanket in your portfolio. All right. Remember, you did one loan, but if you have 22 properties in there, how do you get rid of one of them if you want to, right? You can sell a property at any time, okay? But, and this is the big but, that the ratios, the debt service coverage ratio, still has to be in line. Because if you're reducing the loan amount, you're also reducing the cash flow. Now, when you do that, they're going to do an analysis to make sure that your DSCR is still 1 to 1. Okay, so it still has to be 1 to 1 when you sell the new property. If it's not, then you have to lower the loan amount to make it 1 to 1. So you might sell a property for 500,000, and it drops your DSCR below 1. If your DSCR goes below 1, then you have to come in with cash to cover the shortage or the pitfall. Okay, that's all it means. It doesn't mean you can't do it and it can't be done. It just means that you're going to have to cover the gap from where the DSCR needs to be at 1, and you might be at 1 whenever you sell the property. But it's just something to understand. Okay, and you can have multiple partners on this. It could be a corporation, LLC. Usually, it's a Delaware or Nevada designated LLC. It could be a newly formed LLC. So, and you can do this nationwide. There's no location restriction on where you can do this. It can be in any state in America. And you can do this for purchases. You can do it for refinance cash out, partner buyout, corporate buyout, liquidations. You can do, like I said, cash out. You can even a line of credit against your portfolio. So it's a great program for real estate investors. I mean, a lot of investors, for example, what we see a lot of is you already have a portfolio. Let's say you have a portfolio of 40 properties and it's worth $9 million, and you have $6 million of equity, and you want to buy more properties, but you don't want to go through the loan process for the future purchases that you make. We can give you a line of credit against your current portfolio, right? And then you can take the equity from those properties that you already own to purchase the other properties. That way you don't have to get an appraisal done and go through the loan process. So there's another idea that you can do, and you can buy those in cash, or you can do a DSCR loan. So there's a lot of different options that can be done when you do commercial private lending. Now you could, doing these type of loans at a bank would be extremely difficult, but with commercial private lending, you have the autonomy. It's very dynamic, the agility to be able to get this type of loan done because they understand what it takes to be successful as a real estate investor in 2025 and the products that you're going to need to scale and move. So it's a great product. I mean, this is why we're so big about private lending, because they're designed and tailored. It's a tailored loan to help the real estate investor to scale, to be successful. Okay. So, and we offer all different types of loans. Like we do non-QM, we do bank statement loans, we do private loans, we do hard money, we do bridge, we do no documentation. So this is just a great another product to have. If you're a real estate investor, you have a large portfolio, and you're trying to either cash out or purchase, and you want to do future investments. So, like I said, if we can help you with any of these type of loans, please don't be shy. Reach out to us. We'd love to work with you and help you in any capacity that we can. Like I said, this is for DSCR. We talked about let's talk about some of the requirements. So, someone that's doing a portfolio blanket loan, they have to have some real estate experience. This is not for first time investors. So you're not going to be able to get this type of loan. Let's just say that you want to buy one that's 100 units and you've never owned rental properties in your life. You're not going to be able to qualify for this. You're going to have to partner up with somebody, either do a JV or something like that. This loan is for someone that has, 700 plus credit. They have 6 months plus reserves in the bank. 6 months means you have 6 months of loan payments set aside in your bank account. Okay. You have, clean background, that type of thing. And but the other more important thing too is that you have the experience in managing properties, whether you have a property manager or it's you that has the experience in managing rental property. So, if you're going from managing 9 properties to 20, that's probably possible, but you're not going to be able to go from managing 9 properties to 300 um, by yourself overnight. You're gonna have to kind of stair step up or partner with somebody or do a syndication to get to that level. Okay, so just want to make sure that you know that how the loan works because there are requirements for that. The other thing is, location is very important. So you want to be doing this in urban metro areas. If you're doing this in a rural area where the population is very small, it's going to be almost impossible to get Wall Street money or national money to back you. You can probably go to a local bank to get that done, but you're probably not going to get big money to come behind you if it's in Timbuktu. Okay, they're looking for this to be in major metro Dallas, San Diego, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Houston, Tucson, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, metropolitan area. This is not for a town that has 800 people, and you want to buy the only apartment complex there. Um, it just won't work. But like Detroit, even Cleveland, Nashville, any of these metro areas, that have at least 100,000 people or more, and it could be on the outskirts of an area. That's fine, but just nothing in a rural, remote area because that's going to be really hard to finance, and it has to be again similar property. So you couldn't mix a restaurant with a mobile home with a apartment complex and a townhome and a high rise. They're looking for, if you have, let's just say, 18 properties in Houston, they don't have to be all connected, but they have to be, in the Houston area. And it can be townhomes, single family, and it's all single family, that's fine. It could be, 1 to 4 family, right? So that's okay. And even if it's in the same state. But it's a really, really great program. If you want more information about it, all the links are down below. You can get, they might be up at the top. You can call or text our number up at the top, 832-431-6331. There will be links down below as well to enroll. There's no cost for enrollment. There's no hard credit check. There's no contract. You can call or text our office, 832-431-6331. And yeah, I mean, if you want to get pre-approved for funding, someone else have our loan partner program. If you want to get signed up to get paid for the referrals, please reach out to us about our loan partner program. We also have our Amazon loyalty rewards program. If you're a partner or a vendor or a customer to get your free Amazon account and gift cards, don't forget about that with Angelo Christian. And then if you want to join our real estate university and you want to learn how to become a top producer, a top closer, if you ever dreamed about getting into real estate, we have our online university to teach you and train you, and the links are down below for that as well if you want more information. And if you're looking to get funding for a loan, like I said, you want more information on that, reach out to us and one of our lenders will contact you, immediately to get the ball going. So I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in and supporting. Don't forget to subscribe, enable notifications, share this, like that bell. Please get the content out there. We work really hard to empower you, give you the information, the knowledge. That's what we're here to do. So yeah, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. We really appreciate it all. And like I said, if you want more information, you can click on the links down below to enroll. There's no cost for that. There's no hard credit check, so it doesn't affect your score. So please reach out to us if we can help you. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching the channel with Angelo Christian. We'll see you all again next week. Thank you so much.